Hello, my name is James Thaxton. I'm Conservation Project Manager with the Upper Valley Land Trust. We've been visiting Hurricane Flats Farm, owned by Tom Honingford. And Tom was explaining to the Vermont Law School land conservation class about his conservation easement held by the Upper Valley Land Trust. It covers 36 acres of his land, much of it in the floodplain. And he said he was happy to conserve his land, knowing that no one would be able to put houses in this area that one day could be flooded and is so valuable for agriculture. You got paid for the conservation easement, but remember, you didn't get paid full value, is that right? Was it a local conservation project? Did you make a donation as part of that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that was under their policy where they paid a percentage of the appraised value. Did you take a tax deduction?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
very nice.
Yeah.
I got money and took a deduction that year. That was good.
Good. Now the rules have changed such that if you get a conservation easement appraisal for your grant, you would need another appraisal for IRS purposes, a separate easement appraisal, and you'd have to pay maybe another $1,000 or $2,000. Would that be something you'd still do if you?
No, I would still do the easement. Absolutely. Yeah, nothing. I would have done the easement had. The only way I wouldn't have done the easement is if the land trust said you got to pay for it all yourself, all the legal work. Which I know you have people that donate easements and then they have to pay to get the work done. I would not have done that, but it was important to my wife and I to conserve this land to make sure. As crazy as it seems, even though this was underwater. You can still build houses on about 60% of this land because it sits in the 500-year floodplain. So it is legal to build houses. And there's a house going up on the other end of town in a field that got flooded, and it's being built right where it was flooded. So it was important to me never to see houses or any kind of structures down here that weren't farm related. So we would have gotten an easement anyway, even if as long as somebody would have paid for the legal work to get done. So no, nothing was going to deter us.
How long did it take till the easement was completed?
I don't know, but it wasn't terribly long. I think the longest process was once we sort of came to an agreement with the land trust, which was not hard to do. They're very easy to work with. Then the process went to waiting for a grant to kind of help fund it. And I think that took the longest, and I want to say 6 months or so.
Yeah.
But the actual working with the land trust was very quick.
How often do you find yourself checking terms of your conservation easement to make sure that what you want to do is allowed, and how many times have you wanted to do something and couldn't?
No, never to both. I've never looked at the easement since I've signed it, and they've been very easy to work with. I know that if when I put up the greenhouses down here, it was just a matter of basically a phone call and saying, I'm going to put up another greenhouse. And since those greenhouses don't have any permanent structure, they're just poles pounded in the ground, they come right out and they're gone. They just don't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. So they were okay with that. It was made very clear to me that as long as it had an agricultural purpose, they were probably going to give me an easement to do it. So they've no problems with those. The footprint of the house changed a little bit. I think we put a deck on the back of the house, and I contacted them about that, and they were okay. Just send us what that's going to look like, and they were good with that too. So they've been very easy to work with. I've never heard them say no, but I think my requests have all been within reason. So they have no reason to say no. So again, my experience is very, very positive. And the land trust was very clear when I signed it. They said, yeah, you can ask us permission to build a house down there, but we're probably not going to grant it. I mean, they were very clear that your chances are just about zilch that we'll ever grant anything like that. And I was cool with that. Because the process has been so positive with me, I do talk about it with other farmers. But every year I'm always saying, hey, you ought to get a conservation easement on your place. I'm constantly telling people to do that. And I don't know if any of those people have done it, but whenever I get a chance, I bring it up because I think it's a great process.